Good afternoon. You are on live with the Age of Distraction. I know we usually do gaming streams, but today we're going to do something a little bit different. There was a horrific mass shooting here in my city of Nashville, Tennessee. 6 people dead, including the shooter. That's 3 children, 2 teachers, and the shooter. The shooting occurred at a Presbyterian middle school, K through 6th grade school named Covenant in the Nashville suburb of Green Hills. Now, if anybody's familiar with Nashville, you know Green Hills is like one of the richest, most affluent, ritzy, posh areas of Nashville. I mean, we're talking homes that are $1 million or more. Easy. This is a very, very, very nice neighborhood in Nashville, Green Hills. So it's crazy to hear that there's been a mass shooting in an area that's so affluent, so nice, and it just goes to show you that this can happen anywhere. It just seems to hit different when it's in your backyard. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch a couple of video reports, a couple of news reports, and then we're going to watch some body cam footage from the Nashville Police Department when they actually went into the school and confronted the shooter. The shooter was a 28-year-old trans woman named Audrey Hale. It's even crazier this was a woman. That's very unique. You know, we usually see men that do these types of things. So it's very crazy to see that this was a woman. Okay, so we're going to watch this footage.
Welcome. Authorities are still searching for a motive in the shooting at a Christian elementary school in Nashville, Tennessee that left 6 people dead.
Law enforcement said today the shooter bought 7 guns legally, 3 of which were used in the murder.
It's so funny.
And Nashville police released...
You know, it's like you hear each of these... This mass shooting problem is a problem that is unique to America. We don't seem to ever talk about that. This doesn't happen in other countries. You don't have people going up in preschools and middle schools and shooting in other countries. This is a uniquely American problem. This is our problem. Everybody wants to talk about gun control. Everybody wants to talk about all these different things. Legislation, blah, blah, blah. Legislation doesn't seem to keep people from buying guns. It's seemingly very easy for people to buy weapons. I don't know what that is, but people really aren't talking about what really is the issue here with school shootings, and that is mental illness. Mental illness is what's driving the delusions that lead these people to walk up in schools, malls, grocery stores, or whatever it is and shoot. It's only March. Here it is, it's April tomorrow. We've had 12 mass shootings in America since the beginning of the year. I want that to sink in. 12 mass shootings since the beginning of the year, and it's only April. It's ridiculous.
New video of their response. Stephanie Sy has the latest, and a warning her report includes video that some viewers may find upsetting.
Newly released surveillance video
here's
shows
her car
driving up to the Covenant School and gaining entry into the building
shoots
by
through the front
through
door.
the side door. It is 10:10 a.m. The suspect walks through the halls carrying 2 assault-style rifles and a handgun. Police received reports of the shooting 3 minutes after entry, around 10.
So let me run this down for you real quick. So this is my theory about mass shooters. So you have people whose mental state has declined to such a degree that they feel like the only thing they can do to alleviate it is to take out whoever they deem to be the source of their inner turmoil. So, the mass shooting in South Carolina by Dylan Roof, in where he targeted a church of black people, his trigger was black people. You have the Omar Mateen dude in Florida who targeted a gay nightclub, and when it first happened, the media came out and said that it was an anti-gay shooting or something, and turns out the guy was a closeted gay man who had just found out that he was HIV positive, and then he targeted the club where he met the person who he slept with and was infected. You can go on and on. A lot of these are racially motivated. I think in the case of Sandy Hook and Adam Lanza attended that school, so that would lead you to believe that if Audrey Hale attended this school when she was a kid, so that would lead you to believe that maybe there was some bullying that went on, and maybe there's some years-long resentment there towards the bullying that they endured in these schools, and so they then go back when they're adults and target that school.
13. As police officers arrive at the scene, the assailant fires at their vehicles.
I'm making entry on the front side.
Body camera footage shows officers following the sound of gunshots to the second floor, where they confront and kill Audrey Hale.
We're going to watch
Hale
its whole
was a former
body
student
camera
at the
video.
Christian school. Police have obtained writings and campus maps they say show Hale calculated the attack. They also say Hale had other targets in mind. Police have given unclear and sometimes conflicting information about Hale's gender, but they said today the guns used by the shooter were legally obtained. Police
Of course
Chief
they were.
John
They always
French
are.
said investigators are in contact with Hale's parents.
We know that they felt that she had one weapon and that she sold it. She was under care, doctor's care, for an emotional disorder.
Of course she was.
Law enforcement knew nothing about the treatment she was receiving, but her parents felt that she should not own weapons. They were under the impression that when she sold the one weapon that she did not own anymore. As it turned out, she had been hiding several weapons within the house.
In Nashville, mourners continue to gather at the elementary school today to lay flowers and pay their respects.
It sends a message that things need to change and that thoughts and prayers alone aren't
And those
something that,
parents didn't do everything
fixes
in their
or-
power to make sure this woman didn't have any more weapons. This woman just walked right into a gun store and bought these things, which is always the case. It's always the case these people legally require these guns. You know, here's a little story. So, during the beginning of the pandemic, you know, there was talk of mass evictions and lawlessness and all this stuff. So, me being kind of a paranoid guy, I went to a gun store and shot some guns in consideration of buying one. I finally settled on like a little 22, a little blue 22. Spent like $700 on the thing. Then they come back and tell me that they can't release the gun to me. I have no criminal record. I have no arrest record. I have no felonies. Nothing like that whatsoever. Nothing like that. No mental health stuff that would bar me from getting one. But they denied me one. I have no idea why. To this day, I still have no idea why. But this person, who was under the care of a psychiatrist or a psychologist of some sort, was able to walk right in and get one. I don't want to say that race has something to play in that, but I don't know any other reason why I would get denied for a gun, and this person who has a mental health history can walk right in and walk out with 7 guns. I have no idea why.
Aid this situation.
The student victims were Evelyn Dickhouse, Hallie Scruggs, and William Kinney, all 9 years old. The 3 adults
9-year-old
included the
children.
head of the school, Catherine Kuntz. Cynthia Peak was a substitute teacher, Mike Hill, a custodian. As voices rise for lawmakers in Washington, D.C. to do something about the
9-year-old
epidemic of
children.
gun violence, this morning
And
the
a
Senate
custodian,
chaplain's morning
a
prayer
sub,
was
and a
call
regular
for
teacher.
divine intervention.
Lord, when babies die at a church,
Nigga, I don't want to hear no damn sermon. Get out of here with that damn bow tie. What the hell are you going here with a sermon? Like that's gonna do something. Thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers. Give me a break.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers. Hallelujah. Jesus, please save the children. Please save the children. Hallelujah, Lord. I need you to save the children. Save the children. Save the children. You're gonna save the children. Please save the children now. Come on, man. We need a little bit more than that. We need more. This keeps happening and happening and happening. Keeps happening and happening. Every time. Explosions. Gunshots. Everywhere. All over the place. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Choo, 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 choo. And then we're going to do some prayers. Like that's going to solve anything.
Words of the British statesman Edmund Burke. All that is necessary for evil to triumph is for good people to do nothing.
Yeah, and y'all do nothing. That's very apropos, that sentence. Because y'all do nothing.
A prayer as much as a call for action in the growing chorus.
Nothing.
For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Stephanie Sy.
Amid the shock of the tragedy in Tennessee are renewed calls for leaders and lawmakers to do something.
Yeah, renewed calls every time it happens. Every single time it happens. Renewed calls. Renewed calls.
I'd like to begin with a fact.
Every time. Every time you're on the radio, you're listening, you're tuning into these talk stations, you're tuning into this news, and it's just the same lame reporting, no ideas, no solutions whatsoever, the same politicians that are coming forward to use it as political theater and fodder and to drum up support for their own base, from their own bases. It's bullshit.
All right, good.
So,
Good evening and welcome.
I messed it up.
And
Here we go.
epidemic of gun violence.
Beyond
Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. My bow tie can
Remind our Lord
reflect bullets.
words of the British statesman Edmund Burke.
My bow tie is like a
All
bulletproof
that is
shield.
necessary for evil to triumph
Please, Lord, give me more bow ties to wear on the Senate floor.
A prayer as much as a call for action in the growing chorus of grief. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Stephanie Sy.
Please, Lord,
Amid
give
the
me
shock
more
of
bow
the
ties.
tragedy in Tennessee are renewed calls for leaders and lawmakers to do something. Chris Brown is president of Brady, a gun reform advocacy group, and joins us for more on what that something could be. Thank you for being with us.
She's kind of foxy.
The assailant,
Brown.
as we heard in that report, legally purchased 7 firearms, 3 of which were used in the murders, according to Nashville police, as this person was being treated for an emotional disorder. This person's parents didn't know that the guns were in the house. How do we solve for that? What piece of legislation, what policy would have prevented this from happening?
Extreme risk protection laws. Actually, 19 states and the District of Columbia have passed those last year. President Biden signed the bipartisan Safer Communities Act to give funding to states and to incent other states to pass these laws. Why is that relevant? Because what that says is, as a law, if you have someone in your household who's at risk of doing themselves harm or others, you can seek a protective order from the court to remove all firearms. And in some states, that also means that person is put into the background check system. So we need that kind of law. Tennessee does not have that.
But the family didn't even know that she still had weapons. So how would they? And who knows that that's even something you can do? Literally, who knows that? It's a 28-year-old adult. The parents could have went and lobbied and gotten some sort of document that says that they can't, that their trans daughter can't buy weapons. That doesn't even make sense.
Law. So when I hear what the parents are saying, it breaks my heart. I think they tried and did what they could, but Tennessee does not offer them other solutions that they should, and they must, because this is far too frequent in our life today, and we need all of the tools that we can amass.
12 mass shootings so far this year, by the way.
To stop gun violence.
And at the federal level, the gun reform debate appears to be frozen. President Biden today said that Congress needs to act. He said he's exhausted the range of what he can do unilaterally. But there are a couple of things I want to point out that suggest that Congress won't act on this anytime soon. One is Congressman Andy Ogles, whose district includes that Christian school. He received widespread criticism from gun control advocates for a Christmas photo that he posted in 2021.
Look at this asshole.
You see there.
Look at this picture. Look at this Christmas card this asshole put out. Him with every member of his family, including his little daughter, including his what looks like a preteen son, holding AR-15s. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Posing with AR-style rifles. Today he said that he has nothing to apologize for, didn't see anything wrong with that. And then there's Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett, who talked.
He didn't see anything wrong with this Christmas card. Look. People gotta stop. People have to stop with this gun obsession. This, you know, look, if you go to a gun shop, people that work at gun shops will tell you that the most efficient weapon to defend yourself in your home is a shotgun. It sprays. It's got hella coverage. It's a machine of hate. It's a machine of rage, and it's effective, and will take down any perpetrator, no matter the size. Why do people need AR-15s and AK-47s and these types of weapons? Why is this congressman posing with his whole family holding AR-15s as if that's something you should do? As if that's something to be proud of.
Reporters yesterday and said there's no way to fix gun violence.
I don't see any real role that we.
Oh, well, thanks a lot, buddy.
Honestly, because of the.
We elect these people to solve problems and to make legislation to make us safer, and then you have this asshole going.
3D printing.
You have this asshole going. I tell you what, I just don't know. I just don't. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what you're gonna do about gun violence. And it's people like this asshole that makes Tennessee look bad, because everybody else that lives outside of Tennessee, when they think of a Tennessean, they think of a dude that talks like this. There ain't nothing we can do about gun violence, but boys gonna be boys and girls gonna be girls, and they gonna want to buy their guns and they're gonna want to shoot their guns, and we ain't gonna take them from them. We gonna blow up everything. 1776 will commence again. 1776 will commence again.
There's really, I don't think you're going to stop the gun violence. I think you got to change people's hearts.
Thanks a lot, Tim.
Is that where the public sentiment is?
Thanks a lot, Tim. That's awesome. Could you imagine all you people out there with jobs and the many problems that you have to fix at those jobs if you just threw your hands up and said, there's no way to fix them. They just are what they are. It's too late. We can't fix them. Sorry, it's done. We can't fix them. We can't. That's it. It's all messed up. The store caught on fire. There's nothing we can do about it. I'm just gonna sit here in the fire. I'm just gonna sit here in the fire and put my hands up and say there's nothing you can do about it.
So there's no role for Congress? Congress can only mess things up?
No, it's a failure of democracy. What we're hearing here is manifestly against what every poll tells us the American people want. 93% of Americans want expanded background checks. Why is that? Because they know that background
But what does that
checks
mean,
save lives.
right? Because somebody like me, no criminal history, no mental health history, was not allowed to buy a weapon. So our gun laws are pretty strict already. Is there more that can be done? Of course there's more that can be done. But at what point does it overreach to a point where an average citizen with no criminal history, with no mental health history, can go in and get denied for a gun? Like, the laws seem to be already pretty strict. I would love to know the criteria in which people are granted access to buy a gun, in which they're not. That seems to be completely unclear and a case-by-case basis.
We have stopped more than 4 million through the Brady Law. 4 million sales of guns to
Okay, I guess one of those was me, huh?
prohibited purchasers. But today, 1 in 5 guns is sold with no background check at all. Why is that?
Where is that at?
And at gun shows, these guns can be sold with no background check by private sellers. Because when Jim and Sarah Brady passed the law, there was no internet, nor no gun shows. And there's so many other things.
I guarantee you there were gun shows back then. I mean, that was the 80s.
That we can do.
That was after, like, the dude shot at Reagan, and that dude Brady got shot.
President Biden has talked about some of them.
He was trying to do it to impress Jodie Foster, I think.
For those who say
David Hinckley, I think his name was.
Do anything, let's look at the kinds of things that they're actually doing in Congress and in state legislatures to reverse, to backroll the kinds of public safety that are important to us. Just today, Congress was supposed to have a hearing in the House about certain kinds of devices that can be added to assault-style weapons to make them more deadly. They canceled that hearing. Why? Because of this shooting, because there are certain reports that indicate that the shooter used those kinds of devices. Brace stabilizers is what they're called. Obviously, people like him who talk about we can't do anything, they're the ones who are trying to roll back protections. And I have to say, the issue that we as Americans should really internalize is, do we want a version of the Second Amendment that is a death sentence to our fellow Americans? Are we going to make this a key political issue, or won't we? Because we have to hold people like that lawmaker and others to account. They have blood on their hands. I can't vote. I wish I could. I can't vote in Congress, but I can vote at the ballot box. And every time I do, I make gun violence prevention a priority. And that's what we must do. If we want to change the trajectory of our country, this is a national shame. We cannot say we live in a country.
And this is an American problem. Uniquely American problem.
Land of the free, the home of the brave. When our kids are dying at school and when guns...
So anybody who's just tuning in, what we're doing is we're talking about the mass shooting that occurred here in my city of Nashville, Tennessee, at a middle school. 3 children dead, 3 adults dead, including the shooter.
Gun violence is the #1 killer of our children, surpassing automobile fatalities. We have to make a difference, and we can, and we should. We're Americans.
All right, so next we're going to watch the body cam footage from the Nashville Police Department. That beat is on time. On time. Can you imagine being this cop? And you were responding to a middle school with an active shooter? Insane.
Give me 3. Let's get 3. Let's go.
And they got this big ass school to clear.
One more. Let's go. Metro Police.
Jesus, dude. Can you imagine? Just clearing room to room.
Bathroom, small bathroom. Clear. Next, let's go. Door, with me. Open the door. Next. Open it, I got it. Let's go.
Insane.
Just move right. Cover left. It's upstairs. It sounds like it's upstairs.
Here he comes. They're about to confront him. You hear them shots? Jesus Christ, dude. Terrifying. Terrifying. Boom! And this dude runs in and just pops her with 3 more. God damn. Dude. Boom, boom. Pop, pop, pop. Jesus. Pop, 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 pop. Dude, that was 4 more. Then this dude runs in with this 45. Jesus. I gotta see it again. I gotta see it one. That shit is crazy, B. He comes in with this AR or whatever it is. Pops his fool. Jesus. Down on the ground. Dude, they talk about that gun, bones shatter. Bones like mystify with that gun. They mystify. Your bones are just gone. They're like the air. They're like dust, nigga. They talk about them guns. I mean, you could take out an airplane engine with those guns. I mean, it's no joke. Kids got shot with them. That's insane, B. I ain't gonna hold you. That's crazy. That's crazy. We live in a crazy world, son. Pow! And then this is the fool that runs in with the 4 more. This is the dude that runs in and pop, 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 pop.
Hit that stairs. Hit the stairs. Go. Go stairs. Go stairs. Go.
This is more intense than the other footage.
Keep pushing. Go. Shots fired. Shots fired. Shots fired. Move. Right. Push an LPV up. Push an LPV up. Go right.
And this fool comes in with pop, 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 pop. Watch this fool.
Move!
This fool runs out like Superman. Jesus.
Stop moving!
Jesus
Stop moving!
Christ. This fool just...
Push an LPV up. Push an LPV up. Go right.
Jesus. This fool just runs out and murks niggas. Like, what the...
Move! Watch out. Stop moving!
Jesus.
Stop moving!
You see his arm twitch? Oh god.
Push an LPV up. Push
Dude,
an
this
LPV
is
up.
this is incendiary to watch, isn't it? This is not good. I don't care. We'll watch
Move! Watch out.
it. Jesus.
Stop moving! Stop moving!
Oh god. Yeah, dude, that is insane. Is what that is. That was something else. Jesus.
A national press conference in Tennessee with police there and a whole array of authorities. They are going to give us another update, and it's begun, so let's listen in.
This active shooter situation. Speaking to you at this point will be Nashville Chief of Police John Drake, the Director of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation David Roush, Nashville District Attorney Glenn Funk, and then Nashville Fire Director Chief William Swan. Again, this is the second briefing. There will be other briefings to be held here in the same spot later this afternoon. We'll continue to brief throughout the rest of the day. Chief Drake.
First and foremost, I want to say thank you all for being here on this very unfortunate situation. My heart and prayers go out to the families of the 6 people who were tragically injured. What I know at this point is at 10:13 today, our officers responded to a shots fired call to Covenant School. It's a church school. Officers immediately responded. A team of 5 immediately went in the school, went to where gunshots were being heard, and engaged the suspect. We have identified the suspect right now, tentatively a 28-year-old female white. We know the address of that person as well, and so we have some ongoing investigations as to that. We have 3 adult victims, and we have 3 children who have been identified and their families have been contacted. Right now, I will refrain from saying the ages, other than to say I was literally moved to tears to see this and the kids as they were being ushered out of the building. I want to say thanks to all of our partners, to the FBI, to the ATF, and other federal partners, to the THP, Tennessee Highway Patrol, the TBI, the District Attorney, and to the Fire Department, who all came together and seamlessly addressed this situation as quickly as possible. I've already gotten a request from the national media about a great response. We're still assessing that.
There's just nobody has any answers about what to do.
Whenever I hope that we would never have this situation.
I mean, we have this discussion every time this happens. Every time. And we say thoughts and prayers, and you post about it incessantly on Facebook or whatever you do, and you call that some sort of activism, which it isn't. It's not getting anything done. You got lawmakers saying there's nothing to do at all about it, which that's crazy. Nothing, B? Nothing?
We would not wait.
Nothing?
We would immediately go in and we would immediately engage the person perpetrating this horrible crime. And so that's all I can say. Right now we have David Roush, director of the TBI, who will come out to me to address his portion, and then we have others that will say something as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Just another sad day in America.
Echo what Chief has said in reference to the great support and the great teamwork that has been taking place here.
Why do cops always look like they should be cops, right? I mean, I'm joking, but I mean, doesn't this guy just, like, if you saw this guy at Kroger, you would say that nigga's a cop.
As sending our heartfelt prayers.
That nigga carries a gun.
Families of these victims. Now, I know there'll be people who want to criticize us for prayers, but that's the way we do that in the South, right? We believe in prayer, and we believe in the power of prayer. So our prayers go out to these families. The role of the TBI in this investigation is we have been asked by the General Fund to assist in the officer-involved portion of this incident. So the incident where the officers engaged the suspect, we are assisting the Metro investigation. And the reason we've got Metro doing the primary investigation is because it was a fluid scene. So there wasn't a single stop in the action. So as they investigate the homicides, that we felt it was most appropriate for them to continue that investigation. But we will assist as in our role as an independent oversight on the officer-involved situation. And so that will be the role of TBI. We too want to thank all of our partners. It is special. We've had this conversation, unfortunately, too many times in Tennessee, and that is that you wish you wouldn't have to do these types of scenes, but when you do, you want to have the working relationships that we have in our law enforcement community here in Tennessee. It is amazing, and we've all come together as one and working very tirelessly, and we'll continue to work together to address this situation. It's a horrible, senseless tragedy, and we will be here working with our partners to get through it. And, next, I'd like to introduce the District Attorney General for this area, Glenn Funk.
Okay, so we're just to remind you, we're live on four different platforms: Kick.com. Kick.com is a cool site. If anybody out there is not familiar with it, go check out Kick.com. The Age of Distraction. Trovo, that's TROVO.com. The Age of Distraction. Twitch / The Age of Distraction, and YouTube / Age of Distraction. The Age of Distraction. So,
the ultimate crime when school children and caregivers are the victims of senseless gun violence. Can't say anything before we first express our concerns for the victims and their families and the extended number of victims that are traumatized by today's events. I came out on the scene today because our current operating procedure is that when an officer is involved in a shooting, that the TBI comes out, and I knew that this was a unique case, and I wanted to make sure that everything was handled appropriately. Director Roush was out here almost at the exact same time I got here, and Chief Drake had already been on the scene for a while. The three of us met and talked about how the investigation was going to be handled. We made a joint decision, confirming what the two law enforcement leaders, how they wanted to proceed, which was that Metro was going to handle the bulk of this, but the TBI would participate in capacity to continue with making sure that we have transparency and everything, and to make sure that any backup that MNPD needs in the continued investigation will be provided. Can't stress enough how seamlessly that worked to have a conversation, a decision to be made quickly and appropriately as far as how the case is going to be handled from here. Hats off to Chief Drake and to Director Roush. I also want to thank Chief Swan and our federal partners as well. While I cannot comment about the ongoing nature of the investigation, really impressed with the work that's being done by law enforcement.
Mass shooting in Nashville. Oh man, this can't be real. But it's real, and you know it's true.
So our hearts
little quick 2 bars.
do go out to all the family members and also the first responders that actually made this call. As always, the fire department and the Office of Emergency Management, our job is to support. And we're here at the beginning, and we'll be here to the end. We just ask that everyone, again, as we said earlier about prayer, we ask for that. And the ongoing support that's needed from our standpoint is to give support in any area that's asked for on the scene. So again, we thank you, and from this point forward, we'll just continue on with our mission and try to bring some type of closure and resolution. Thank you.
I anticipate there will be another briefing at or before 4 o'clock. We will entertain 2 or 3 questions at this moment before these gentlemen have to go back to the scene to continue their work.
Chief, you identified, did you identify the shooter in this incident?
Yes, we have identified the suspect as a 28-year-old female white that actually a Nashvilleian or lives in the Nashville area. We have an ongoing investigation as it pertains to her.
Located her place where she lived, and you have officers there, and
we have.
Was she wearing body armor?
Was she wearing body armor? I can't say that far into the investigation. I don't remember seeing it, but I can't say for certain that she had body armor on it.
Did she have any connection to the church?
From my initial findings is that at one point she was a student at that school, but unsure what year, all of that. But that's what I've been told so far.
Did she have or on social media or have social media been examined at this
investigations are still going at this point. Our federal partners, our state partners, we're all looking into that to see exactly. This is still fluid at the time, but we're looking at everything.
Did anybody pull the fire alarm? You know?
Don't remember a fire alarm going off. I was told there was kids that evacuated into a wood line, had the presence of mind to do that, and to go to a fire hall. Once we arrived on scene, we had everyone moved to First Baptist Church, Woodmont, and that way we could get parents and children reunited, and then ultimately make the notification.
All right.
That was a door that was entered. All doors were locked.
So there's a video of the dude.
Was nearby.
Shouldn't be silly with this topic. This is very serious. Very serious, people. No joking around.
Right, but we begin this hour in Nashville, where police have released body camera footage from yesterday's deadly elementary school shooting.
This comes as surveillance footage of the shooter arriving at the school is also being released. Of course, we want to warn all viewers that these videos are extremely disturbing. The police body camera footage shows officers arriving at the school looking for the suspect.
Okay, I mean, we've already pretty much seen all this, so whatever.
Hill entered the school around
But yeah, man,
10 in the morning.
you know, it's really a shame what goes on in this country with these mass shootings. To hear a dude on TV publicly say there's nothing we can do, to hear a congressman say that is chilling. I mean, I guess I see what he means. It's like you just can't predict where and when these things are going to happen. You just can't. But I mean, I think we can all agree that we need less weapons in this country. I mean, we have so many guns, and the gun violence is through the roof. In a country like Canada, tons of guns, full of hunters, you know, tons of people that have guns and can carry, but very little gun violence. There's just something different. There's something about our culture. There's something about the way that we raise our kids. There's something about the way that hierarchies, and we don't talk about bullying enough, you know. I think we've sort of we've written bullying off as like a rite of passage sort of thing. Like, this is just something that happens when you put a bunch of prepubescent boys in the same situation. There are hierarchies that develop, and then you have stronger kids and you have weaker kids, and then the stronger kids therefore bully the weaker kids. And we've just taken that as something that just should be, and there's nothing we can do about that. There's something pervasive in the culture that influences these types of things. Why, if not, why isn't it happening in other places? Why is this not happening in Paris or Tokyo or any of these any big metropolitan areas all across the world? Like, their gun violence is very low in comparison. Our metropolises are filled with gun violence. So it's insane. Who knows what to do? I certainly don't have, all the answers or really any answers. I will say that we need to be looking at mental health a lot more and have that discussion, because I think that discussion will change the way we look at these things, and we need to find ways to have more empathy for each other and for each other's situations in general. In my opinion, society seems to be quite misanthropic, especially post-pandemic. People are very afraid of each other, and they're very afraid to get out of their own bubble and talk to people that aren't in their immediate circles. And we don't have that central general empathetic nature for human beings. We don't seem to have that. And I think that's what encourages a lot of bad attitudes about people, and not being distrustful and paranoid about people, and not being welcoming and open and nice and cordial and kind, and greeting each person that you encounter with the same amount of reverence and decorum and all that. I think a lot of people are alone out there. A lot of people feel so isolated, and people need a community. People need people. I think people get to a point to where they only hang out with people in their bubble. They don't meet new people. They don't have a reverence for humanity the way they should, because their contact has been so limited for however, whatever period of time. And I think that's a dangerous thing. There's nothing more dangerous than people that are alone. People that feel alone, and people that feel like they have nothing left to lose. A lot of these mass shootings are, in my opinion, public suicides. It's like it's suicide by cop. They know they're going to end up getting shot, but they want to go out with a bang. They want to make a statement, and the statements are very bold. And I mean, look at the statement and how this reverberates through the world. It's amazing. It's amazing the sort of disrespect for life that's required to do this. These killers do seem to have some sort of triggers, and I think those triggers are identified by their targets. As I said at the beginning of the stream, guys like Dylan Roof, his trigger was black people. Omar Mateen, his trigger was gay people. Adam Lanza, it was kids. With this girl, Audrey Haley, it's kids. It must have something to do with bullying that they endured. Before they had identified the suspect, they kept saying that it appeared to be a teenage girl, which was crazy. It's very strange that it's a woman, It just goes to show that there's no type. There's no type of person that will do something like this. It's you could have been around this person and never knew that they were capable of something like this, and then one day, here you go. I think there's a lot of paranoia. There's a lot of delusional thinking. There's a lot of misanthropic thinking. But it's something that we got to get a hold of. I don't exactly know how, but I know throwing our hands up and saying there's nothing to do about it is not a way to go. And just a recipe for seeing more and more school shootings. Alright, so this was a quick one. I'm going to be doing a Division stream tomorrow night around the same time, so see you then.